Welcome to another week in Com 130. We are officially halfway through the semester. This week in Com 130, it's also a little bit different. We'll be doing a variety of creativity exercises. We are creative beings. Creativity is a God-given attribute, and that is why practicing and growing your creativity can be so fulfilling and meaningful. Whether or not you plan to pursue a design or strictly artistic path in your future career, what you'll learn this week is so important. Creativity comes in many shapes and sizes, and I think you'll be surprised by what you study this week. It also will help you prepare for the next project, which is the creative ad. I want to quickly share this quote from Dieter F. Uchtdorf with you. Remember that you are spirit children of the most creative being in the universe. Isn't it remarkable to think that your very spirits are fashioned by an endlessly creative and eternally compassionate God? I have such a testimony of creativity and how exercising our creativity, no matter how we do so, can bring us closer to our heavenly parents. Now let's take a look at our due dates for this week. This week, starting at least on Tuesday and likely continuing all the way through Saturday, you will be doing an add subtract activity. I wanted to warn you about this because you do have to start it before your first due date. Due Wednesday, you will have a report on a handful of creative activities you will complete, and due Saturday, you will have 3 creative ideas due for your upcoming project. And we'll talk about all of this more in depth. First things first, we need to talk about your add subtract activity. For this, you will pick something to add and something to subtract from your daily routine this week. You will participate over and report on at least 5 days, and you will be reporting on it on both due dates. So both Wednesday and Saturday, you'll be doing a quick write-up on how the activity is going. The assignment page and accompanying video has a list of examples of what you can add and subtract, but that list is not all-inclusive. And I do want to point out, you will keep the same add and subtract changes throughout the 5 days. So for example, when I was a student and I did this activity, I chose to add 10 minutes of journaling to my daily routine every day, and I subtracted screens in my bed every day for the week. I was amazed at how much those small changes in routine affected me and helped me slow down during the day, and by extension, be a bit more creative. For the rest of Wednesday's assignment, you will choose 4 of the 7 listed creative activities to complete. These activities include things like mind mapping, free drawing, word association, and more. They're not difficult, and they're actually quite fun. You also can complete them with a friend or a family member if you'd like. Each activity has an accompanying video that will walk you through it. As you work on and finish these activities, you will complete an increased creativity report and submit it to the assignment as a PDF when you're finished. For many of these assignments, you will be asked to submit a photo of your finished activity, and you can just take it with your phone or even with your webcam if you want, and you will insert those pictures right into the report document, just like you do with your sketches. And finally, we have our 3 creative ideas. The goal of the activities this week is to start brainstorming creative advertisement concepts for the creative ad project that's coming up. One of the most important things to do is to look at the project requirements before you start brainstorming. After all, you can't really brainstorm for a project if you don't know the specifications of that project. Next, once you understand the project, you will use the project specification generator, and that will give you a product and audience specifics for this project. And this generator is right on the assignment page. You do have to use this generator to find your product and your audience, but I'm fine if you want to generate your project specs multiple times to get some different options. But that being said, be warned that pretty much all of the products seem quite boring. That's the point. You are meant to have a boring, everyday product that you can create fun, creative ads for in the coming weeks. Using the product and audience given to you by the generator, you will brainstorm and come up with 3 creative ads for your project. Again, keep your audience in mind. Then you will sketch out your 3 ideas and insert your sketches and explanation of your sketches into your report. These sketches are typically done with a pencil or a pen, just right on paper. They shouldn't be done on a computer. Remember, these ideas need to be creative and non-literal. You will fill out the report as you sketch and as you come up with your creative ideas. And you also, for Saturday's due date, will do a final reflection on your add subtract activity. When you're finished, you will export and submit your report as a PDF. Now, a lot of students struggle with the idea of symbolic messaging. So I want to take a minute and discuss how it differs from literal messaging. And to do that, I wanted to give you a visual example of literal versus symbolic messaging. Now, I created these 2 ads using the product given to me by the generator, toothpaste. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds, and I want you to think in your head which of these ads is symbolic and which ad is literal. You can pause the video if you need to. Okay, got your answer? The left ad is literal. It simply says, smile like you mean it, with a picture of a girl smiling. There's also no blending with these 2 images. Yes, I cut out the background of the toothpaste photo, but I didn't really blend them together to make them look like one image. There's no symbolic messaging on the left picture. It is just literal and very straightforward. So although it looks okay, it doesn't fit the requirements for the assignment. On the right, we have some symbolic messaging. When creating this, I tried to think about whitening and what else we like to whiten besides just our teeth. So I decided on laundry. I blended the 2 images together, making it look like my toothpaste is actually hanging on the clothesline. Now, of course, you would never actually hang toothpaste on a clothesline, which is what helps portray the symbolic messaging. My headline also plays into the imagery, again, furthering that creative messaging. At first glance, these ads may seem very similar, and they have a lot of the same elements. However, the right one clearly stands out as creative. So I hope seeing a symbolic and a literal ad side by side helps you understand symbolic messaging and what it can look like. As always, feel free to feel free to email me or message me in Canvas with any questions you have. I'm here to help. This week, honestly, is meant to be kind of fun. I don't want to call it a break because you do still have work due, but it is a little lower on the workload, and hopefully that gives you a chance to really get creative and save up some energy, because now that our class is wrapping up, we're going to have some really big projects, and I want you to feel prepared and revitalized for them. Keep up the great work, and again, let me know if there's anything I can do to help.